Good morning. Good morning to you all. It is 8:36 a.m. Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. We're here on planet Earth. And today in this message today, I want to talk to you guys about why I believe we don't do what we know to be true. It hit me this morning at the gym. I'm like, we know what's true, but why don't we do what we know is true? It in the Bible talks about stories of how sowing and reaping is a law, is a principle, but we don't sow those seeds and we don't reap what we want because we're not sowing the seeds that we want. If we know that we reap what we sow greater than we sow, just as an example of a truth, then why don't we do that more? Another example, we know that eating less and moving more allows your body to release weight. However, how often do we find ourselves not doing the simple things to get our health back on track? Well, in this message today, I want to give you the 3 reasons why I believe we don't do what we know to be true. And when you bring these back and circle them back into your realm, into your life, and you live them out, you will experience a different change and a different reality, right? Because oftentimes we're in a funk. We're in the funk and we can't see what's going on. But I believe that you can turn your mess into your message. Your trial then can become your triumph. What you are going through as being a victim, maybe a victim to violence, a victim to whatever it is in life, circumstances come, a victim to somebody screwing you over, a victim to somebody cheating on you and breaking up to you, that can turn into your victory. Your struggle that you're going to, I believe that can turn into your strength. Your weakness, that can actually be transformed into your greatness. Setbacks into setups, challenge into change, pain into profit, pain into gain, woe into wow, and woes into wins, and changing I'm possible, impossible to I'm possible. I can't even read it as impossible because I don't even see that word. It's I'm possible. Same word, different meaning, different perspective, which will determine your different reality. So today I want to go over the 3 things that I believe keep us from doing and living out the truth that we know to be true. And today, when you do these things, I believe you have extreme life change. Number 1, I'm going to write up here on the board if you guys are following me on YouTube. The number 1, I'm going to say truth change. Belief. In order to change any area of your life, you have to believe that you are the type of person that can have that thing. If we don't believe that we can ever get in shape, then we're not even going to take the steps to do the truth. That is, when we eat less and move more, that helps us and helps our energy, right? So first we have to believe. And we don't believe oftentimes, and here's the kicker, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. This has been programmed into you as a child, as society. It's the negativity bias, and oftentimes it's hard to rise above that. But today in this message, I'm encouraging that is within you. Believe in yourself. Believe that God has created you for this, whatever you're embarking on, this change that you want to see in your life. Believe that you can, because He's put it into your realm, which means if you can see it, you can believe it. And if you can believe it, then you can achieve it. So number 1 is belief. Number 2, I believe we haven't practiced enough. Repetition, I heard Tony Robbins say this at an event, is the mother of all skill, right? But if we aren't putting in the reps, if we aren't putting in the consistency, if we aren't practicing these things enough, then it's so foreign. We can't practice a truth that we can't experience the fruit of a root that we haven't actually watered or given sunlight or the things that it's needed to thrive and to flourish into a beautiful fruit. So number 2 is consistency. Consistency. Right?
Hello guys, hi Shannon. I just popped in and I would like to know what you're talking about because it seemed very interesting. I just want to know.
Yeah, so this is Let's Address the Stress. I come on here usually Monday. Thanks for asking. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to address the stress that is running our lives. And today I'm live on YouTube. So if you pop over to YouTube, Shannon Lynn Evans, I post all of this stuff on YouTube. I'm just on here to deliver an extra message for you guys today because this was on my heart at 4 a.m. And I believe that we're all going through struggles, but it's how we catalyze it and what we do with our struggle that determines our experiential reality. So,
Okay. Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a tarot reader?
No, I believe in Jesus Christ. Yeah. No, I'm not a tarot reader. But yeah, I mean, great question. Thanks for asking. I cannot see the future. I don't read into people's futures. What I give is practical truths that I've lived out to be true in my life. And I hope that through my own experience, I can sit here to be a vessel of love and light to show others what's possible along the way. That's simply why I'm here. And so welcome into the Let's Address the Stress community. And thanks for being here today. So number 2, we have consistency, right? So if we want to see change in our life in any area, if we're not being consistent with it, it doesn't matter what we believe, because if we're not actually putting in the work, putting in the repetitions, doing the things that it takes to have the thing that we want, then we're not going to see that. So this is just a gentle reminder today. If you've gotten off track, if you've fallen off track, realize that the track that you think you've fallen off is a self-created track. Imagine a track and get yourself back on that track and keep moving forward. Inch by inch, it is a cinch. Inch by inch, it is a cinch. Mile by mile, with a smile. And that's not sarcastic positivity. That is realizing that our attitude determines our altitude. How we think about things and how we move into them will determine that experience that we have. So yes, it's hard. Still have a great attitude. Why? Because God says he works it together all for good. All for good. All for good. Not some things, all things for good. So if you're in the middle of something right now, realize he's going to see you through this. He got you to this. He's going to see you through this. He wouldn't have gotten you to a place that he can't see you through a place. Okay? So realize that. Realize that it's all happening for you. Take a breath. Take a pause. And realize you are on the right path. Get back gently on track. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I talked about impossible, how that's one single word, impossible. When you put an apostrophe after the I, it's I'm possible. Do it today. I encourage you guys to write it down. Write down the word impossible. Write it down. I'm writing it down here with you. I'm writing it here with you. Okay? Impossible. Okay? Same word, different meaning. I'm now possible. Put an exclamation point at the end of it. Are you going through something, Laura, that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. I'm diagnosed with depression and anxiety. It's just a constant thing, but I do depend on God. Thank God. Yeah, I like your pod though.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I post this stuff on YouTube. Shannon, Shannon, Lynn, Lynn, Evans, Evans. This content is on YouTube. And so if you ever need an uplift, just pop on there. I have let'saddressthestress.com. That's let'saddressthestress.com. And if you all have a stress request, feel free to drop it on there. I do read the stress requests that people submit in. I take it very seriously. And I go live on YouTube on Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to address the concerns and the stress that we are all going through on a regular basis. So let'saddressthestress.com. And I have a free masterclass on there as well to handle and navigate stress, stressful thoughts, stressful situations, stress in life, as we can address it and move forward in a more proactive, productive way. let'saddressthestress.com. You can submit your stress request there. And so glad you're here today for this bonus session. So we we went through number 2, we went through how framing controls the frame, right? When we change the way we see things, the things we see change. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change, okay? So that's number 2, is putting in that consistency to water that seed. And now that we're putting in the consistency, the third thing that I want to say is that we just forget. We forget. And what it is it's a remembering of the greatness that is already within you. The greatness that you have already been created with as your birthright. And as we go back to the Bible and read these things, he talks about how he's given us these strengths and these seeds within us. It's up to us to notice that and to recognize it and to realize that you are a powerful, creative, magnificent being. But sometimes we get so far in our head, we get so far away from that, we get so far off course that we forget who the F we are. And I don't mean that as like who the F you are. I mean like we forget our essence. We forget what we're created to do in and through him. We forget that. But today I'm here to remind you that there is greatness in you. There is magnificence in you. When you realize that, tap into your power, tap into your strength, unleash your power, unleash your strength that's already within you, mamas. It's already within you. It's already within you. So number 3, simply remember your greatness. If you're on YouTube, you can see my messy handwriting here. Remember your greatness. Remember your greatness. You know what I do some days, mamas? Some days that I'm having a hard time or a hard moment, I close my eyes, I put my hands on my hips, or maybe just a simple prayer motion, like my hands in a triangle, and I put my hands close to my heart. I might pace back and forth. I might jump up and down a few times. Shoot, I'm doing it right now for you guys to see what happens when we channel in our strength and when we channel in our greatness. Okay? This morning, I felt like crap at the gym. I'm on 4 hours of sleep. They say you're supposed to sleep and, prioritize rest and recovery. I just pull through and I show up. If I go through the motions, then I go through the motions. Halfway through the workout, I started feeling dizzy, shaking, etc. Training session. I close my eyes, and mamas, you can do this too. It doesn't matter. All struggle is relative, and so is all success. Meaning, what you're going through is what is very personal to you. What I'm going through is very personal to me, but I can tell you the consistency and the commonality of the struggle. There's nobody that gets out of here without struggle, and there's nobody that gets out of here alive. If you want to question that, go to a gravesite. We are all here in this moment for this moment, okay? So congratulations if you're listening to this, you are here, which means you have another opportunity, you have another day to live, to give, to serve. And so back to what I was going this morning, when I was starting to feel shaky, I was starting to feel like exhausted, and what I did, and you guys can do this too, is I put my hands on my hips, I close my eyes, I imagine just the power that's within me that God has given me. He woke me up this day. He woke you up this day. Stand up right now wherever you are. Get out of your bed. Get out of your chair. Get up. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Get up. Put your hands on your hips. Put your hands on your hips and say, I can do this. I can do this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this today. I'm doing this today. I'm doing this today. I don't know how, I don't know where, but I know that I'm doing it, and I know that I'm gonna do it. Start to channel in that energy. Energy is generated. It doesn't have to be like crazy, like jumping up and down. Maybe that works for you. Sometimes I do a few jump squats, right? Sometimes I just move my arms. Shake your hand, whatever that is for you, just channel in that energy that is already within you. Take a step. Take a step. Take one step. Is there one thing that you can do today? Maybe it's a single step. And you might say, Shannon, you got way too much energy for me this morning. I'm lit up about this stuff because I believe you're lit. Unfortunately, what's happened is we have forgotten how lit we actually are, meaning that life is within you. That life is within you. So encourage yourself today. Get up today. Take a step today. If you're depressed, if you're feeling a mess, okay. Realize you can do one thing though. Can you brush your teeth? That's a win. We minimize the magnificence in the small things. There's some days when I was depressed, and sometimes if I don't catch myself, I find myself spiraling still into these realms. People think I'm this positive person. I wasn't wired that way. It's something I've had to really channel and harness and work in through these daily practices. And that's why I'm here to tell you that if I can do it, mamas, you can do it too. If I can do it, whoever's listening to this right now, you can do it too. I was depressed, in a funk, in my dark room, ordering DoorDash every single day, 30 pounds heavier than what I am right now. This was after college. And somehow, some way, God brought me through it. One thing I did that I'll share with you guys that might actually help you as well is I just took a walk around the block. One day I woke up and I said, enough is enough. I realized that I was telling myself that I was depressed, and then I was feeling depressed. And then I stopped telling myself that I was depressed. I stopped thinking depressing thoughts, and all of a sudden it went away. And I said, oh my gosh, I was perpetuating what I was already feeling, and I'm not negating mental health disorders that are diagnosed and people that are on I get it. I get that there's hormone imbalances. I understand that. I'm talking about controlling the things that you can, and that's number one, awareness of your thoughts. Because if your thoughts are spiraling out, now you're spiraling out. And what is that for anybody? What good can we be for our kids if we're out here spiraling out? They are depending on us. The world is depending on you. So what I did is I got up, I realized that the thoughts were creating my depression, not the actual reality itself. And that goes back to Epictetus. He says it's not the circumstances that cause you disturbance, it's your thoughts around them. So if you realize the correlation between thoughts and experienced reality, you realize that you are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts, okay? So I got up and I took a single step. I got up and I took a single step. I got up and I took a single step. I took a walk around the block. The sun, I allowed the sun to hit my skin. I was in a dark room, a dark place. So I got up and I took a walk around the block, and then I was greeted with nature. I was greeted with all of the beautiful trees around me. I was greeted with the gentle sun on my skin. But I was so blind to it before because I was in such a dark place in my mind. And if that's you today, know that there's hope. Know that there is light. Yes, you can do it. Yes, you can do it. Turn impossible into I'm possible. Realize, write the word can't. This is another exercise for you guys. Write the word can't. That's how most people are living their life. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. But this, but that. I get it. When you're in a funk, that feels so freaking real, and that stinking thinking can take over. It can take over. But I want you to write the word can't. Okay? And cross off that T and circle can. Same word again. Change it around. And now when you change the way you see things, the things you see change. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. The words you look at change. The reality that you experience and live out changes. Can. Yes, I can, and yes, you can too. Yes, you can too. I'll give you one last exercise for today for all of you all listen here and still here. So proud of you for showing up today for yourself. Take out a piece of paper. Find a piece of paper. If it's not a paper, it can be a note card. It can be the back of a receipt. I wrote this message for you guys today on the back of my prescription for ibuprofen. And I wrote my message for you guys on the back of this, prescription. When I say find a piece of paper, you don't need to go get a fancy journal. You don't need to go get the latest, invisible marker. Find a receipt, find a piece of paper, any piece of paper that you can see and find can do. When we're doing these things, that's another limitation. Well, I don't have the pen, I don't have the paper, find what you can, and I want you to take out a piece of paper. I want you to find a piece of paper. I want you to return to a piece of paper that's already in your realm and start writing one thing that you're grateful for. Is it that you can listen to me right now? Is it that you can see me right now? Is it that you can actually have a device to be on right now to listen to me? Okay, that's one thing. I want you all to find 5 things that you can be grateful for. And you know what? You might say, Shannon, you're freaking loco. I can't see one thing right now. I can't even see one thing. Can you see half of a thing? Can you see a quarter of a thing? Can you do one blink? Like sometimes it's like I'm not even ready to take a step. I'm just trying to like lift my foot off of the ground, okay? That's something like I talked about the meaning of the magic of what we're doing, okay? If it's just a step that you're taking, if you're just lifting your foot off of the ground, that is something. That's no small thing. Channeling the gratitude for that. And then you realize you're taking a step, and inch by inch, it's a cinch, but you can't even get your foot off the ground. You start to lift it, and you're like, oh, wow. Okay, I actually have a foot to lift. What? That's incredible. You actually have a foot to lift? Oh, crap, I'm looking down. I got 2 feet. I got 2 feet that somehow are moving. I'm being moved. What? Okay, something's happening here. Gratitude is happening. Appreciation appreciates. And you don't got to go crazy with this. Maybe it's just a half a thing. Maybe, like I said, you're just trying to activate the muscle to mind and muscle memory to even like start to lift the foot. That's okay. Give yourself grace and space here. Give yourself grace and space here. You can do this. So your exercise for today is write the word impossible. Change that from impossible, circle, pop an apostrophe, circle the I'm possible, and look at it and feel it and believe it. Number 2, write the word can't, cross off that T aggressively. I like to cross off aggressively, devil not today, and circle the can in that, okay? And then number 3, I want you to find a piece of paper and write one thing, a half a thing, a quarter of a thing that you're grateful for. Okay? And as we start to do these things, I believe we will experience massive, massive directional change. New decision, new direction, new destiny. And that's what I'm talking about by inch. It's a cinch. You know, you think about these big ships and these big planes. You know, it's just 1% different, 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 1% different. Oh crap, now we're going... Oh yeah, we're going in a new direction now. Before I was over here, but I started taking little incremental, slight changes into a new direction. And now we're going in a new direction. And if y'all are listening to this right now, you're going up. Everybody say up. We're going up. Up, up, up. Stay up, stay up. And not every day is easy. Not every day is great, but there's greatness in every day when we notice. And today is about noticing. And so thank you all for being here today. I hope that this message blesses you, encourages you. You can find me on let'saddressthestress.com for a free masterclass to go a little bit deeper into these things. You can drop me a stress request that I will address. And Shannon, Shannon, Lynn, Lynn Evans. If you want to follow me on YouTube, I do go live on Tuesdays and Fridays, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. As we close out this session today, as we always do, you got to have, life is balanced, right? Life is right in the middle. You can't have all the go, go, go energy without pulling back a little bit. I encourage you, and I encourage us to wherever we are right now, to slow down, to recenter, to refocus, to re-engage in what is here. And what am I talking about here when I say what is here? What I'm talking about today and what is here is our breath. We are being breathed thousands of times a day. It's a return to that breath that allows us to recenter, refocus, recalibrate, to get present. And from that place of presence, now we can act with a greater sense of clarity. And so wherever you are right now, I encourage you just to allow yourself to be where you are, as you are. As you settle into this present moment, settle in, settle in. Maybe you wiggle your toes on the ground. Maybe you do a couple shoulder rotations. Maybe you do a couple shrugs. Maybe you wiggle your fingers. And together we're going to do a deep belly breath. And what is a belly breath? A belly breath is a diaphragmatic breath, which is right around your stomach area. And so what I like to do is I like to picture a big heart red balloon filling up. And then when I release, that balloon goes down. So together, I invite you, you're welcome to take a deep breath in, big belly breath filling up, and release. That release, balloon going down. Deep belly breath in, hold, 2, 3, release. That nervous system reset is access, you guys have access to and accessible to you at any time, any day, anywhere, anytime, any place, any face, meaning if you're smiling, you can do it. If you're sad, you can do it. You can return to that breath that's happening, and that allows us to regulate our nervous system. And so I encourage you today to remember to breathe. Before you interact with your kids, breathe. Before you answer that email, breathe. Before you engage in that conversation or the judgmental chatter in your mind when something doesn't go perceived to be your way, release, breathe. I hope this message encourages you all today. I'm here to remind you that I believe in you. I see you. Keep showing up for yourself, for your families. The world, our family at large is dependent on us. And go help somebody today outside of yourself. Check in on a friend. Call a loved one. Take an action for something other than ourselves today. And from that place, that's another way to generate momentum. Until next time, much love. Take care. Bye for now.